Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already noticed, I am wearing a different colored shirt. I know. Today I decided, since I'm gonna be using different colors on my eyes, I'm gonna wear a different color as well. My whole wardrobe is literally black, so that's why in every single one of my videos, my shirt is black, literally. So I remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe months ago, I had seen this color shirt at Forever 21. I'm like, I like that color. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that as well. And so I decided to put that on today. And I'm sure it goes with, yeah, it goes with my look. I like it. Yeah, it's a good tone. But thank you for being here. As you can see in the title, that I just got the 39A Morphe palette. I'm so excited. I played with it. I love it. I know all of you are gonna love it, and I really hope you like this look. So if you are interested in finding out how I did this look today, please continue watching. Alright guys, first we're gonna start off with two primers. So I love my hangover primer for my whole face, and then I also like the Smashbox Photo Finish, the pore minimizing for my nose. Next I'll be using two different foundations. I'm going to be doing a little cocktail, and I'm going to be doing the Hourglass in Golden Natural. This is the stick foundation. And then I'm also going to be using the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation. I love my Hourglass one by itself, but it's a little bit on the yellow side, and I couldn't find one that was like my perfect shade, so I decided that I have plenty of other foundations. I can definitely gotta mix them up a little bit, you know, to get the right color. First I'm gonna start with the Hourglass. And then jump in with the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. And I'm gonna blend that in with my MAC Oval 6 brush. And then I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more of the Tarte foundation with my Beauty Blender. That's one thing that I do love, is having my foundation darker than my actual skin. And I've just always been like that. I've never liked to have like the really light face and then dark body, so I think like I'm always afraid that I'm going to have that issue, and so I'm always making sure that my foundation is darker than my body. Most of the time I'll just go ahead and use a light powder if it is too dark, and it kind of lightens it up a little bit as well too, because I've also used foundations where they were too light. I'm like, oh, I'll just go ahead and use a darker powder. That doesn't work out every single time, and I noticed with my Nars foundation, you know, I was using like a darker powder. I'm like, oh, I'll just bronze, you know, really well. And I just felt like it didn't do it, and I wasn't happy with it. So I almost felt that I was like, man, I should have gotten a darker, you know, darker color. And that's actually what happened with the Hourglass foundation. It was that I got one that was too light, and I'm like, what was I thinking? I always go for darker, and so that's why this one was darker, but then it was too yellow, and I'm like, well, I can go ahead and mix something that's a little bit more warmer, and it worked out. So even though it still is a little bit more on the yellow side, which I absolutely love, it's not too yellow. Now I'm going to go back in with my Beauty Blender, and I'm going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus on it. I've already dampened this. I'm going to spray a little Fix Plus on this, and then I'm going to go back in with my Tarte Shape Tape Foundation, and I'm just going to go ahead and do little dots. Just where I want a little bit more coverage, especially in my nose area, because it's always so red. That's where I want a little bit more coverage. Next, I'm going to be concealing with the Nars Creamy Radiant, Radiant Creamy, whatever, Creamy Radiant, whatever, Nars Concealer in Custard. Radiant, Radiant, This is my favorite concealer, guys. Like, I always go back to it. I like the Makeup Revolution. That one's really good as well too. So good. And it's just, you don't get a lot in it at all, so it kind of sucks. But this one has been like, let's go back to it. The only thing that I didn't like, I like to shop at Ulta because I get like points and stuff that I can use towards other purchases, and they don't sell Custard, and Custard is the one I really love, so you know, I go to Sephora to get it there. So I'm gonna blend that all out. And with that same sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and set with my Ben Eye powder in Cameo. The reason why I like Cameo is because it's more of a beigey color rather than yellow. And I feel that that goes a little bit better with my skin complexion. I really like to bake my nose because that's where I get the most oil production. And so I feel like baking my nose and having also that Smashbox pore minimizing primer just on my nose helps tremendously. I also get lines. I have expression lines on my forehead. So what I do is I make sure that there's no creasing up there. And then I'll get that same powder, and then I will bake my forehead as well. And I know sometimes that it can get a little bit more like dry looking, but you don't have to worry about that because especially if you have like a setting spray, my holy grail is Max Fix Plus, and I honestly use that like 17 times as I'm doing my makeup. So I actually sprayed it before I even started my makeup as well too off camera. And I feel that it just gives the skin more, the makeup more like a skin-like look. And so that's how I kind of tell everyone what it does. It, you know, a lot of people are like, what does it really do? Is it just water that you're spraying on your face? I'm like, no, it actually is absorbing into your makeup, so your makeup doesn't look like, you know, it could be like it looked like a cake base or anything like that, you know, because sometimes the powder can make it look really fake and have, you know, just like that reflection as well too of powder. So I always use that after I'm done powdering my whole face. And then I'm still gonna go back with that same powder right now, just getting a little big 150 MAC brush and just kind of pressing it into my skin to make sure I'm setting all of that makeup. Next, I'll be warming my skin up with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Bronzer in Saddle. I'm going to be also using a 135 brush by MAC. Next, I'll be adding a little bit of blush. I don't usually wear blush. I don't really like blush. But for this video, since we're gonna do a full face, I want to add a little bit of blush. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of Peachykeen right here that's in my palette. Peachykeen is like a beautiful peachy and shimmer, a little shimmer, so it's great for summer, good for spring. And it just blends really well. It's one of my favorites to use when I use blush. For my highlight today, I'm going to be using Beaming Blush by MAC. I really love this highlighter. It's more of a goldy tone, a lighter goldy tone. Oh Darling is more, a little bit more gold, which I love as well, but I really love Beaming Blush. So we're going to try that one, work with that one. And I'm going to be using a Morphe M510 brush to apply it. Looking like a glazed donut over here. So I went ahead and I went and did my eyebrows off camera. And we're gonna start on eyes now, and we're gonna start with the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. I'm applying it with a 217 brush by MAC. And I put a little excess on the, whatever excess that I had, I put it on the bottom, just because I know that I'm gonna put eyeshadow there. And next, what we've all been waiting for, the 39A Morphe palette. So I seen this online and I needed to have it, and then it sold out, and then I'm like, okay, well, it's gone. So I went into Morphe with my boyfriend the other day, and I seen that they had it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, do I get Jeffree Star's Blood Sugar palette? Do I get the Morphe 39A palette? I had no idea, and I decided, I'm like, okay, the Morphe one definitely has more colors, so I'm gonna stick with that one first because I really want the Thirsty palette. So they didn't have that one in stock, but they might have it in stock today, which I'm going to call and see. But so at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and take this one. And it's just gorgeous. Like, look at all those beautiful colors. I'm so excited to play with this. So I'm gonna create an eye look with this one. Let's go. With a 224 MAC brush, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this kind of like peachy terracotta color first, all over my lid. Bringing it up to the crease and a little bit past the crease as well. Since I have hooded eyes, I always need to bring my color a little bit past. I need some water. I live in Arizona. It's 6 degrees today, I think. 106 degrees. Got the AC going. Then I also have all these lights around me, so it doesn't make it any cooler. Next, I'm gonna go in with this green color here. And that's gonna be mostly in my crease with a 217 brush. I love this color because it's more of like a army green, which is really nice. That's what I was most excited about this palette, was because it had a lot of other colors that I don't have in other palettes. I feel like every palette that I own kind of has the same colors, especially the warmer browns that we're so used to and that we love. Those are definitely in a lot of palettes. And that's what I loved about this one. I started swatching them, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love blues, I love greens, but I don't ever really use them. So, especially having this palette, I'll be able to go ahead and do that. Momo, what are you doing? You wanna be a part of my video? Next, I'm gonna go in with the darker green right here, just in my corners. But I'm still gonna be using that same 217 brush. These colors are buttery, they're silky, there's not a lot of fallout as you kind of wisp it out, you're good. But once I'm blending, I get no fallout, which is amazing. Army green is beautiful. The only thing I wish that this palette had was a yellow. I love yellow eyeshadow. I literally only own one by MAC, and I'm actually gonna use that right now. So with these greens, a really bright yellow is gonna look really pretty on the inside of the eye. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna incorporate this yellow, and this one's called Chrome Yellow. I have it in a palette here that I created from MAC. as well. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a 239 brush by MAC, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of add that yellow all on the inside to really make my eye pop. I'd always get so many clients that would ask me, how would I ever incorporate yellow into what I normally always do? Like, this is how. Yellow can go with browns, it can go with greens, it can go with, I mean, you can add it to blue if you really wanted to. As long as the placement is good, that's all that matters. And you know, you don't have to put it all over your complete eye, but at the same time, as you can see what the yellow is doing for my eyes, it's just brightening the areas that I want to be brighter. So in my case, I have, like I said, I have more hooded eyes. So I still, even though I love to use darker colors, I still like to use lighter colors in certain areas to really make it very vibrant and really open up my eyes. Perfect, I'm gonna go back in with my 217 and then just go ahead and grab a little bit more of the darker green just to kind of push it back in to the yellow a little bit to kind of help to blend that a little bit more. I'm gonna grab that 239 MAC brush again. I'm gonna go ahead and add the yellow to the bottom of my eyes. Next I'm gonna go in with that same brush, the 239, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dip it into the lighter green in the 39A palette. Next I'll be using the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk just to add a little bit into my waterline. Next I'm going to be adding the Roller Lash Mascara to my top lashes. I actually recently got a lash lift and I liked it for the first 2 weeks, and now I feel like my eyelashes are going everywhere, so it made them a little bit more on the coarser side, I guess you could say. So I'm not loving them, and I hope they grow out. So I don't think I'll ever do that again. I went ahead and applied my lashes off camera. I actually got these lashes on AliExpress. You can definitely get a lot of options through the mobile app, and you can also get it online as well too. And so what I'm going to do with my lip, I'm going to use the MAC Prep and Primer, which I absolutely love before any liquid lipstick. And I'm going to use Thick as Thieves in the Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lipstick. I love this one because it's more like it's in between androgyny and Gemini, I feel. So I really like this one. And lastly, my holy grail, Fix Plus Spray. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I used. I'm loving this 39A palette. It's gonna be one of my favorites that I'm gonna be able to play with so much now. And I really wanna create more looks that are gonna be more colorful, because I feel, like I said before, with a lot of the palettes that are coming out right now, there are so many that are so warm tone, and you know, all these palettes have all those colors, and this, at least this one, I literally used one warm tone, and then I used this green with some yellow and then some white in the eyeliner. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and please subscribe and thumbs up for me, please. I would greatly appreciate that, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye guys.